Hi guys, welcome. This is going to be the video of Emperor of the Fading Suns, and we're going to talk about this amazing old school war game that is now been released on Steam. This is the enhanced edition, ladies and gentlemen, and this is going to be a really pretty amazing. Try out that demo. Welcome. I give you all a warm welcome to the channel. So what is Emperor of the Fading Suns? Emperor of the Fading Suns, it is a very, very old school war game from the 90s, as I just mentioned. This game has a lot of interesting elements that are very, very similar to the things that we can see nowadays in Crusader Kings and Total War, and even in Shadow Empire. I believe that those war games lend and take a lot of inspiration from Emperor of the Fading Suns. Don't be deceived by the graphics. This war game is a gem. It's so beautiful. It has so much lore. You are going to enjoy it. Trust me, that's the reason I have brought it to the channel. I'm going to leave on the description a couple of names, a couple of books that you can find yourself about the lore of this thing if you are interested enough. So let's get on with it. The demo version that we have here, the only difference in between this demo version and the full experience is that you're going to be able just to play 20 turns. It's a turn-based war game, of course, and you are not going to be able to save. But apart from that, you can do whatever you can do in the full version. As always, I'm going to show you what do we have in options here. We have different modes. We can toggle from windowed and full screen modes. We can decrease the volume of the music. I'm going to show you how it sounds. So we're going to decrease it. We can increase and decrease the sound. We can put the rendering of hexagonal grid on or off, autosave on or off. This is going to be of no use in this version because we have the demo version. We can go for PBM off or on security, which is a password for the PBM. Music list lets you select the music tracks to play, and show traits. This is where it is going to show the traits of your faction. Then you have plague on. Plague is when you are out of food, then there is going to be activated the plague. Rebellions on, it is when you have, let's say, in terms of Total War, less public order, then you're going to have a rebellion. Universal Warehouse is on. This now, let me tell you something about the Universal Warehouse. I just read it on the manual. If you turn this off, obviously the whole food is going to be dependent on the actual one planet. So if you have Universal Warehouses on, then the whole resources are going to be taken from all the planets altogether, if that makes sense. The thing is that you're going to be in a very, very high disadvantage if you turn this off. Off obviously is going to make this more realistic, but eventually the CPU player, the AI players, they are going to have this on by default. Consume food either if you want to get the mechanic of the food, and play by email, which is the PBEM, which we don't care because it's off. Show destroyed city. Then this enables notifications about destroyed cities, capture cities, or capture units. We're going to leave this as it is. Turn on all tutorial messages. We're going to not turn off all tutorial messages. I think we're going to do that. Turn on all the trade message, turn off all the trade message, and leave trade message alone, which is leaves turn by turn notifications about trade bonuses unchanged. Before starting, I'm going to show you the actual video of the beginning of the game, in which there is going to be told the story about the beginnings of what is going to be happening in the story of the game. So let's watch it, and then we're going to see you again in this screen.
For half a millennium, humanity has lived among the stars in darkness. Humans reached the stars long ago, building a republic of high technology and universal emancipation. Then they fought over it, squandered it, and finally lost it. Now a new dark age has descended upon humanity, for the greatest of civilizations has fallen, leaving ignorance and fear scattered among the ruins of many worlds. Even the stars are dying. Then from the ashes of our ruin, Vladimir halted our decline. Proclaimed emperor by popular decree, he united the known worlds of human space under his cunning and charismatic rule. Vladimir created the Great Charter, declaring how the powers of rulership would be divided and how his successors would be elected. 5 scepters for Mother Church, protector of our souls, 5 for the Merchant League, heralds of our past, and 5 for the noble houses, holders of our future. But each of these powers wished to rule it in their own way, and schemed to gain complete power at any price. Vladimir's military might convinced the noble houses to concede his rule, for they could not stand in battle before this master tactician. The Merchant League, last remnants of the Second Republic, made little pretense of their disdain for the charter of Vladimir, but they accepted his rule nonetheless. Fearful of his popularity among the people, the Patriarch of the Universal Church accepted Vladimir's rule on the condition that the Church present him the crown, thus ensuring their ritual role in approving all his successors. Vladimir's coronation as the first emperor of the known worlds took place on Byzantium Secundus, which had been declared the imperial throne world. In the year 4550 AD, Vladimir crowned himself with his own hands and died. An agonizing death at the hand of unknown powers. With Vladimir's death, his great union fell apart. Noble house turned on noble house, igniting a war for the spoils of Vladimir's empire. The commonwealth of humanity was shattered, overcome by iron-fisted feudal lords. As the suns fade, so dies humanity's hope.
Are you finding the content of the channel of interest in general? Something that you would like to support? Click support in Buy Me a Coffee, link in the description so I can continue smashing those keys while having a sip in your name. Let's get on to the video, shall we? So let's try the demo right now. So let's go ahead and start new. If you liked the video that I just showed before this segment, this is just to give you a background of the actual lore, because just after that, the game begins. You can also go ahead and read it on the manual. If you go to the Steam page, you can also download the manual yourself and read everything you want to know about the game. So let's go here and go for historical. In here you see the 5 houses that you're able to play as. These are the Lihalan, the Hasset, the Tekados, the Hawkwood, and Olmalik. Now, you can choose human or computer controlled. So this is, at first I was a little bit confused because of the logic of this selection. So basically what this means is that if you want to play as Hassat, you click here and you see the brain. This is you, because you have a lot of brains to be able to play this. So this is now controlled by the PC and these 3 as well. Now I'm going to show you each of those. The first house is this one, Lihalan, which is pretty much representing the futuristic spacefaring Byzantine Empire. So if you hit next and you hit play,
House Lihalan.
You're going to see here which are the options that you have for the Byzantine Empire. So you have Flavius, Celestra, and Chiku. Most of people choose that one. Okay, now let's go and find out what are the Hassatians.
The Hazat.
Here we have Lucinda, Catherine, and Lazarus. Now let's choose the Kados.
House Decados.
Here we have Nikolai,
What?
Hiram, and Salandra. Now actually I'm going to show you something, because with these guys you have... These guys are inbreeding and they have decadence. So this is something interesting to note.
Okay, so the Lannisters.
Now let's go ahead with Hawkwood. Hawkwood, apparently it is more like a medieval spacefaring nation.
House Hawkwood.
So you can see these guys, Alexius, Alvarex, and Cedric. So they have this feeling of being more like medieval French, English. Okay, and now we see the other one, Al-Malik. Let's go ahead and
House
see it.
Al-Malik.
So these are based on the Arab nations Saladin, Yuzara, and Hakim, pretty much. For the purposes of the video, we're going to go for the Lihalan, which is the one that is by default. So let's go ahead and choose that. We're going to go beginner for all of them. Let's have a look at what we have here. Easy, average, difficult, ridiculous, and beginner. Well, apparently what this gives is a little bit of more traits as you go down. You have more traits for your faction. At least that's what I remember that I have read on the manual. At this point, well, this is going to be the same experience for me and the guys that are watching this for the first time, because I just got interested in the game because of the features that it has, and because this game is from the 90s and it's a war game that it is very, very deep. So we're going to experience it as we go. So let's continue here. Plague on, Rebellion, Combat Report. We don't want to show tutorials because I am supposedly already read the manual. And Consume Food, yes, on Universal Warehouse, as I just mentioned at the beginning of the video. This is going to take all the resources from all the actual planets. So that's it. We're going to play.
House Li Halan.
So let's go ahead and select Celestra. And here we see that the negative traits for Lihalan is disdain's trait. So they are not going to be very happy with the trait league, and they are basically the enemies of the trait league. In the positive aspects, they have noblesse oblige, which is doing good works for your subjects, increase their loyalty at the beginning of the game. Rule of law, increase loyalty at the beginning of the game. Then you have, so we have a buff in loyalty. A friend in the church likes you better, so the game has also religion. The religion is like the religion of the medieval Roman Empire, the Orthodox religion of them. So this is basically a more spacefaring Orthodox religion. And then we have this documentarium. This 3 is going to give 3 advances in physics and bioengineering and psychosocial engineering, which is going to reflect that perhaps this faction is very much advanced. So we could also take 1 point and choose, for example, Battle Master, but this is by default. Each time you do it, you're going to take a remaining positive trait whatsoever. So let's go ahead and click OK. Here you're going to see this screen, which is going to tell us the cost of the actual technologies that we can go ahead and research. In this case, you can see that we can go for, in microbiology, all of these, physics, electron microscopes, which allow cyclotron, ceram steel, and nanotechnology. Now, this one you're going to see, because I'm going to show you the resources, this one is going to be the most important perhaps at the beginning, electron microscopes, because it's going to allow us to get the cyclotron. You're going to see why. I'm going to tell you why, so we're going to research this one. However, you can see here in database is basically all the things that we already have: hospitals, pharmaceuticals, energy physics, and mega chases. As you can see, for example, it says that with energy physics, we're going to go, because of the energy physics, we can go for electron microscopes, which is pretty much what we're doing. So we're going to research that, and in archive, you can go and see all the information in the fashion of this beautiful, colorful book that will go and tell us about all the story behind the technologies. We will be able to read it and to know more about the world. You can see here we have all of the options here, web missiles, robotics, and so on and so forth, jump drives. This is going to give us a little bit of flavor, so it's pretty neat. This is for the archive if you want to know more about the lore. Database, as I said before, is everything that we already have. So we're going to research tech. Are you sure you want to research the electron microscopes? Yes. So here we have the new patriarch is Orthodox. Okay. So, okay, we are in the space. Here is Kish. This is our home planet. In here, you can go and right click and you're going to see the whole galaxy. The whole galaxy is going to show you different color-coded names of planets. Color-coded because each one is going to be like controlled by each faction. There are 2 factions that are color-coded green, but one is a more saturated one. This one in Severus is the faction, the actual faction, and this one here, these are the League Heim. This is the Merchant League. So talking about the Merchant League and stuff like that, if you go to diplomacy here, you can see the 5 houses, which are these 4 plus us, and then we see the League. The League here is the guys that will sell and buy things, so you can import things from them. So then you have here treaties with it, and you have trade embargoes you can loan. Now at this point you can start understanding how interesting this 90s game is. This is perhaps has the most interesting interactions diplomatically within a war game of the time. So if you can imagine, these things will already have in Europa Universalis and stuff like that, and this is for the 90s. So this is how interesting this war game is. So we have the war chest here. You can do diplomacy here in the fact that you can give, so you can say votes at the next election, embargo to another, future favor. You can even take favors from these diplomatic mechanics. It's amazing, right? Then you have the option to either say, for example, let's vote at the next election. Now, I'm going to tell you something about the votes. You see this thing? These things, let me hit done here and exit here, because I want to show you here. First of all, I want to go to the central planet, okay? This is Byzantium. Byzantium 2 is the main planet. The main planet, oops, I just misclick here. This means that we're going to move our ship through here, but I don't want to do that. Okay, I couldn't find the way to cancel the move, so I just loaded it again. So I'm not going to click in here just yet, but I want to show you here, and I want to go here, right? So this is the Byzantium 2, and it is here, as you can see. Byzantium 2. Okay, here you have Imperial Regent, Imperial Eye, Imperial Fleet, and Sigmata. You can further in the game, you will be able to put each of those, or each of those factions, it could be you as well, could fill these vacants, right? Imperial Fleet, I assume that you are the hegemon of the seas, because you can have actual fleets in here, not only space fleets and armies, but you can have fleets like ships in the sea, you know. Sigmata, I will assume that means the army, hegemon of the army. Imperial Eye means that you have the hegemony on spies. There are spies in here, so you can build spy networks. And Imperial Regent is the place that you want to reach, right? So you are going to vie for this seat during the game in between the 5 factions. And you will be crowned the emperor if you go here. But there is those things that I wanted to show you. I think I'm going to go to basically Kish and see here if we have some of those. Oh, there you have. Are you new to the channel? Here you get historical content, guides to play better, analysis of awesome stuff, super engaging stories. Are you aware of what you are missing already? You won't regret it. Hit that subscribe button now. So these are the Sceptors, right? So I was talking about those because we saw them. Does not participate in combat. So this grants 1 vote, okay? And the Sceptors, as it says, allows you to vote for the election of the regent, right? So allows you to vote. And as you can see, if I go again to talk with the league, they have 5 scepters. The more scepters you have, the more you have the opportunity to become the emperors. And that's the reason they have this option here, votes at the next election. But this means that we're going to buy the votes from this faction, you know, and you will appreciate it. But there's again, or is a threat, or I will attack you, or I will make you regret it. And if they fear us, they will comply. So this is amazing, right? How amazing is this? Then you have the church. The church here, we have sect names, different sects. We have the Orthodox, which I believe this is the amount of Orthodox that are in our faction. And we have Hesychasts, Brother, Battle, Avestes. All of those are sects. And then you can see that the churches will have 5 sceptors. And then we have the vow. It says, the vow have no use of your technology. This is the only alien faction. Which is no human, the humanoid alien faction, you know? And they are so powerful that they don't need our technology. However, we will give you Firebirds. Firebirds is the name of the currency, okay? So it's not gold, it's not florins. They are Firebirds. In exchange for the map information, are you interested? Yes, we're interested. Click on the planet to give to the vow. Okay, we want to give information. Do we sell the information about this? So the vow will give us 810 Firebirds for the map information of Byzantium 2. Yes. So we just sold to the aliens the information about Byzantium 2. Okay, pretty neat. Hopefully this is not going to mess with the good standing of the other factions. Okay, here we have Celestra, and here we have the budget. Budget is another interesting thing. Since the 90s, we can see that a wargame already had population, and they had taxes. They have tithe, which is the tax for the church, and they already have unit payment, which was basically what nowadays is upkeep, right? So as you can see here, if you increase the tax, then you have this interaction between negative and positive in between population, right? So they are very good with me at this point, but if I go further, they're going to be mad. And this is rebellions. This has to do with rebellions. The other thing is tithe. The clergy is not willing to give any dime to us. As you can see, if I go just slightly, they are going to say, hey dude, we're not paying you anything, you're going to be excommunicated. And then we have the troops, we're paying them this. Now I don't know, obviously you can go further and you're going to take from the bank. This is the amount of the total money that we have, total coin, Firebirds, and the total down here is the amount that we're going to get, the surplus, right? If someone can tell me, please, and this is really something that I would like to know, does increasing the payment of the troops, okay, does that gives any buffs at the time of battle or something like that? I would assume that they do that because it's a war game. However, I could assume as well that this is going to contribute to the loyalty, and this is just an assumption. I don't know. But if you go as far down, you're dying for the empire, but you're not going to be paid. I'm pretty sure they are going to rebel as well. And I don't know if there's a difference in between a rebellion of troops and a rebellion of peasants, right? Is there any difference whatsoever? So that's that window here. Then we have the archives. Here we see the city info, and in here we can see all the cities from Kish. So we see the farms, the forts, the mines, and you can even go to each of them and or simply go and build. We're going to talk about in a few seconds about that. Then you have the archives, in which this is pretty much the lore. You can see the lore here. It's already here in the game, so it's pretty nice, pretty neat. Here you can give orders, you can build roads, view stacks and stuff like that, and here you can save, but we cannot do that right now because this is the demo version. You can go to options and to the main menu and exit the game in here. Okay, neat. So let's go ahead and show you what is this. This is the stack. This is the counter stack, and it has a number here. This means that it has 6 counters inside, and each counter is different. You can see that this is a cruiser, this is a frigate, which is the same as this one. This is an assault lander, and a bolt collar. If you want to see more about those, you can right click, but there's another thing before right clicking to show you here. This number here is the amount of movement points that you have. It could be either a thing that is on the sea, a thing that is in the space, or a thing that is in land. If you right click, of course, we're going to see a lot of information. We're going to see, you need to right click again each of them to make them stay, you know? You right click and then you make them stay. And you can see this beautiful 3D object rotating in front of you that is going to show you the actual model. And you can see a lot of information here. Health, the loyalty, what is the experience. And the good thing is that we begin with expert troops. And this is something that you don't see a lot in different wargames. You begin with an actual important and an actual very, very powerful army. And I'm going to show you in Byzantium too, because we have a huge army there. Then you have here moves left, you have the actual combat rank. It says that if it eats or not, this means that, for example, if it's an N, this means that no, self-explanatory. Agility, camo, movement points, so on and so forth. So armor and defense, which is pretty different, and the maintenance. Maintenance would be the upkeep, if I'm not mistaken, base yearly maintenance affected by unit pay. So it's a base unit maintenance. Here we see all the resources that are needed to operate this thing. We need these are the ceram steel. We need electronics. We need iron. And we need this this special thing that will allow to jump gate into other, the jump gates are the lanes, the space lanes. So yeah, pretty interesting, pretty nice. You have this one. I don't know what this is. This is called the bulk hauler. I don't know what this is. Okay. So here we have the end turn button. Here we have the sentry selected units, which means that you're going to just put them in barracks. Then you have the wait until next turn, so you're going to ignore the movement of the unit and move along existing path, if any. For example, if we are here, in this case, we can move along the existing path, which is here. So now we are here inside. This is Kish, right? And basically what I'm going to do is to talk about the nobles here. These are the nobles. We have 4 here. I think you begin with 5. I don't know if you are able to get more nobles, but talking about nobles is very important, because in Byzantium, in here, you need to have, this is the actual troops that we have here. And you can see the different forts in here. These forts are color-coded in regard of the factions, obviously. So this means that we have military presence in Byzantium. And this is the main palace, right? This is the palace where Vladimir was assassinated. It was burnt alive or whatever. So this guy was, everything that happened in the beginning was here, right? So here you see that this is the most protected area. This thing here, as you can see, these are shields. These shields, you can see this blinking, this blue, each hex has a blue border that is blinking. So this is the area that is going to affect the shield, and how the shield is going to affect the actual place is because it is immune to bombardment. At this point, I don't know if it's completely immune, but you cannot bombard the place. It's like a shield, protection shield that is going to stop any bombardment. So here we have the most powerful. You can see these are expert, and these are the nobles. The nobles are going to act like generals in Total War. So they are going to boost the ability to fight of your troops. And for example, here we have the most powerful troops that you can have. These are like 40k Warhammer stylish infantry troops, you know. This thing, and you can see the sect of this thing. So these are very orthodox. And I believe that you're going to have different sects as the game continues, you see. So as you may see, we haven't even changed the turn or passed the turn, and we haven't even stopped speaking about all the things that you can do here. And there's a lot of things that are left. We still need to talk about the resources. We still need to do a little bit of gameplay. But I'm pretty sure that if you are still here, this means that you are enjoying this as much as I am, because this thing is beautiful. It's beautiful. So let's continue here. Don't forget to subscribe and share the video if you are passionate about war games and history as well. So the nobles, you need to have a noble present in Byzantium. If you don't have a noble present in Byzantium, you are not going to be able to vote. Simple as that. Okay? And this is a huge army, right? So we don't have to move this guy here, because I'm pretty sure that if you take these troops away from him and you leave him alone, then the other guys are going to eat you. Okay. Returning to Kish. Here we have a factory, we have a church. Take a look at this. If we go to the archives, city info. Let's go to the church, right? Let's go to the church. You see this button here? It says build. You see here that we have a clergy here. Let me show you here. This is the clergy, right? And then you have militia, artillery. There's a lot of units here. So you go build, and here you can build the clergy. You see? Now, religion, I said, is very important in this game. So they even have inquisitors that are going to be sent and see if you are researching something that they don't like, they are going to execute you. Now, I'm just assuming that, but I have read about the inquisitors, and pretty interesting, that mechanic that you can research things that are only allowed by the church. Well, you can also research things that are prohibited, and that gives a lot of depth. Engineers, they are going to build things, you know? They're going to build things, and you're going to, each time you build something, you're going to, like, use him. He's going to disappear. So you're just going to exchange a building for an engineer. Engineer can raise other places, as far as I know. We have militia, anti-aircraft, anti-tank, but each place has different options. For example, here a factory is able to build tanks. We have scout tanks, which are recon. We have missile launchers. We have med tanks, which are main battle tanks, and tank killers, which are tank destroyers, anti-air, artillery. You can see gunships, things that fly as well, dive bombers, and more anti-tank, artillery, and anti-aircraft. It's crazy, right? And you can see that this is just because you have the factory. Now, for example, if you have the lab, on the lab, you cannot build tanks, but you can build basically artillery, militia, and engineers. It's pretty interesting how they structured this. In the palace, for example, where you have the other nobles and the infantry legion. Now, this infantry legion is not the same as the most powerful ones, as you can see, and the experience of these guys are green. However, it's pretty interesting how these nobles are green as well, and this engineer is expert. Okay, so the other thing, the shield here, you can build here as well. But the only place where you can build tanks is in the factory. And if you want to build missile launcher and scout tanks, you need electronics. Now, it's time to talk about those things. So let me go and talk about those things. Those things are here, right? So let me go ahead and show you all of these resources and what are the names of those and what is the use of those. So we have food. Food is harvested in farms and arboreums. Most units consume 1 and cities 10 per turn. So you have an upkeep. You have, now we're eating 132 points on the planet and eating 156 galaxy-wide. Harvesting 133 points on this planet and harvesting 133 points galaxy-wide. This means that we're consuming more than we are producing. This is food, right? Then here we have energy. This is not, you will believe that you're going to put oil, right? Put basically petroleum to fuel the actual spaceships. Now, to be honest, I am not sure. For example, things like the tanks. I think we have a tank here. Let me see. I'm just going to try to find if we have a tank. There you go. There's a tank in here. So this tank is not using, take a look at this, is not using energy. No, actually the tank is this one. Sorry about that. It's not using energy because these things don't use this as a fuel. Well, actually, I don't know why they are not using that, but it's interesting to note. I thought, but okay, they are just using iron. Whatever. It was interesting to note that, you know. I'm gonna show you why. So you have this thing, okay? So you have this thing, the energy. So the energy is harvested in wells used to produce other resources. You can exchange things that you don't have with the merchants. And the merchants are located here in the Agora. We're going to do that. Then we have the metals. Metals are harvested in mines, fundamental construction materials for buildings. So you need metal to construct buildings, obviously. Then you have the trace. Trace is harvested again in mines, used to produce composites and electronics, which is pretty important. We have exotica. Exotica is this thing here, used to production of biochems, is found in farms and arboreums. Farms such as this one here. Arboreums apparently are woodland, right? Then we have exotica is exotic plants, basically. Chemicals is used to create other resources. Then we have these are the biochems. Obviously, it says here that you need a bioplant, and when you have the bioplant, you can mix 10 exotica plus 10 energy plus 10 chemicals to get 10 biochems. Okay, so these are the necessary resources for you to craft the other resource. So you craft the resources. Pretty interesting, pretty deep. Electronics. So you need energy and trace to build electronics, which are used in servos, silicon wafers, think machines, and fusoriums, which I don't have any idea what is a fusorium, but we're going to find out. And then we have ceram steel, which is pretty much the, I think this is like the Kevlar of the spacefaring nations, required for large spacecraft and powered body armor, and they are used that to cover the whole of the spaceships, stuff like that. Then we have this one, the wetware, are meshes man and machine. It's basically what this is microchips, okay? Microchips. Then we have this thing here, monopoles, needed for energy weapons and hovercraft. I think this is, I don't know what this is, to be honest. I don't know what this is. I mean, what could be this translated as a needed for energy weapons and hovercraft. Okay, whatever. Gems are harvested in mines and they are used as cash commodity and needed for singularity production. And here we go for the most important resource, which is singularity. Singularity is built. You need a cyclotron to build singularity, and you need 10 energy, 10 monopoles, and gems to build singularity. Singularity is needed for jump engines, so you cannot use the jump lanes with the spaceships. And I mean the jump lanes, I mean these things here. Okay, you cannot use these things here, and this is basically the fuel of the spaceships to jump into another planet and to move through space. This is exactly what is translated as the actual fuel. Okay, so this is important. Cyclotrons are important to build singularity. So that is in regard of the resources. So now what we're going to do is to build some things. So first, you can see here that we have a factory. I'm going to build here a medium tank. Let's go ahead and build it. I'm going to go here and build. Are you sure you want to produce the medium tank? Yes. Okay. And then I'm going to go for the lab here, and I'm going to build an engineer. Okay. We're going to build a second lab here. Okay, so let's just go ahead and build this. Click here, build, and yes. Apparently it's going to be built in the next turn. So here in the factory, we have militia legionnaires. Okay, these are the normal guys with weapons, guards, militia, whatever you want to call it. And we want to first, before I would attack this, because I just want to show you again how to attack places and how to take those places. For example, if you see here, there's a lot of troops here. Infantry, these guys have even missile launchers, and they have this anti-tank. They have food here, you see? But these are some sort of, not rebels, but we're going to call them rebels. I think they're pretty much rebels. So here in this fort, we have tanks. I'm not going to take the scout tank. I'm going to take the double click, and I'm going to select the medium tank. I'm going to take all the medium tanks, just the medium tanks, and I'm going to move them close to the agora here. Okay, so we just sent from the fort the tanks. I'm planning to attack the agora, right? And there's all of these things here, pretty much a merchant, but we will have to declare war. First of all, I would like to trade, right? So if I click trade, this is one thing you can do with the merchants. 20 metals, and I will have to pay 280 because the cost is 14 for each. Okay, for each unit of metal. So I'm going to purchase. Now, before doing that, you are going to see that we have 179 metals here. So now I'm going to trade with the merchant guild and take us another 20. 20, 79, 89, 99. 199 purchase, and we have 199. So this is one thing you can get resources. You can import them from or buy them from the merchants. However, our faction is a faction that hates the merchants, right? We already know that. So Celestra is not very happy that near our areas, our main city, we see these merchants. The metals are here. There you go. So here are the metals. Now you think, oh, the metals are here. No, the metals are with the tanks. And we need to move the cargo. So we double click the cargo, which are the metals, and we're going to send them to the factory. If we don't send them to the factory, then the thing is not going to be secured. So now this is secured inside the factory. Okay, so what we're going to do is to declare war to these guys. Okay, do you want to attack? Yeah. Or you want to sell? Actually, I want to attack. I'm going to do no bonuses, normal, and this is what's going to happen. Fantastic. Combat done. We just took the Agora, and everything here, you see, the singularities, these are 2 points of singularities, 10 points of gems, 25 points of monopoles. All of these things are now us, are now in our possession. So I'm just going to send them here, and we have everything here, and we just virtually took everything from them. But the thing is that we're now at war with them, right? You can see here that we're at war with them, and for example, we can say, hey, a peace treaty with you, or make you regret it. Let's see what they say. And we still have the option to, we just sent, I don't know if we sent, let's do a diplomacy with Lucinda and make an alliance, and I'm gonna give her technology, hospitals, choose, and perhaps give another, give you a ministry if I'm elected. Look at this, give you money. Let's give her 200 something. Let's see.
Message sent.
So perhaps we could make an alliance with her. So the other thing that we want to do is to explore. So to explore, we're going to send something to Icon down here. So we have here cruiser, frigate, and an assault lander. Now these are landers, okay? These are used to be used as transports, so you can put units inside. And these are frigates. The frigates, I'm going to double click because it's a little bit confusing at the beginning. If you click the actual thing here, it's very difficult to click here. You're going to, if you click this at the first, you're going to see this, but you need to double click. If you just click once, you just deselect the actual thing. This bar down here, the green bar, are the health points. I think you have already noticed. So I'm going to take this frigate, and you remember, let's see, we have here Lickheim. We need to send the fleet there because we're at war with them, and we're not messing around. So I'm going to send to Rampart and to Icon 1 frigate each. So the first frigate is this one that I have selected. It has three movement points, and I'm going to just click, and you're going to see that it's going to use the space lane, and then you just click again, and he's using the actual singularity to do that thing. So now we have 1 frigate here in Icon. If you don't have anything on the planet that you want to like do recon, you're going to see this message: we lost our map of this planet long ago. We must send a ship there or buy the information from another party. We can buy the information with other faction. So we already have map information in this war game, and this is the planet. So you just click it and right click, and you're going to see because you are basically orbiting around the planet, you can see the geography of the planet, you know. And if you right click on here, up here in the map, you can also see in an overall picture, so you can plan where do you want to land or something. Wow, it's amazing. So then this is what we can see so far, and now we're going to send the other one, which is this frigate. I'm going to send it here. Click and click. Now we're here. So now we can see if we click, left click, you can move the square in the minimap and then you can explore it, or right click and you're going to see the whole map. We see all of these structures here, but we don't know what they are. And the fact that you can save to PNG is so beautiful because you can do edits on this and plannings in whichever image editing tool you have. So sweet, so sweet. Right? So look how much do we get when we attacked the merchant guild. And these are, let's see if there's, we don't know, because all of this woodland could possess exotica and stuff like that. It's so beautiful. So if you would like to see more about this wargame in the channel, depending on the performance of this video, I'm going to do a series in this game. It's pretty amazing. It's amazing. It's beautiful. So now I'm going to show you another thing that we can do, and that is regarding the landing. So we have the assault lander. Okay, we're going to take one assault lander and we're going to land in here, and we're going to choose where do we want to land. So I'm going to land, for example, here. Wait, it's not selecting the one that I want. Assault lander. Okay, let's go here. No, it's just moving this one. I didn't want to move that. Sadly, we don't have an undo button. So the assault lander, click where you want to land. There you go. So we're going to land here. And now we can put militia in here. So we double click the militia. We move the militia here. We go here. It is not loaded into the lander. To load it, you need to drag and drop. And then you see this connection. This means that it's loaded. And now it has a plus sign here. Okay. So now you can see that this is on the lander. Excellent, right? So what we're going to do now is, you see this button? Now it appears this button, launch selected units into space. And now we have taken the militia into space. How amazing is that? And I'm going to take all of these guys. Okay, I'm going to take all of this, and we're going to send them to Rampart. So let's go to Rampart. And I'm going to land the actual things here. But first, let me take the assault lander. We don't have enough movement points. So now it's turn to end the turn. So we end the turn.
House Li Halan.
Okay. That was an unprovoked attack. We are now at war. Okay. We are now at war with those. I reject your terms and alliance with you, and I'll give alliance with you, and I'll give you. Okay, they don't want, and they reject the peace treaty, so they will regret it eventually. Okay, that means that now we have the possibility to land the troops. So I'm going to take the assault lander, both of them, which is the assault lander and this one, and click here, and we're going to land up in here. If I want to unload all of your transports, and I say no, we're just going to land there. Okay, and I'm going to take these guys to here. I really want to go to Langheim and attack these guys. I don't know why. Oh, this is the only route. We need to move through here. Okay, so now let's end the turn.
House Li Halan.
Okay. Our factory has finished producing the meat tank on Kish. So we have the meat tank here. Excellent. And okay. The Scion bots have captured the city. Good. give me microbiology, and she will give me... No, right now I'm going to reject. I don't care about that. Still, we have this guy to move. Let's see. Can we move to the other side? I don't think, because it's in red. So we're going to still stay here. Right now, I think we're going to unload all. Okay, and now I can double click them and start exploring and end the turn.
House Li Halan.
I'm gonna try to make map information. No. Still, okay, no, reject. Still, this guy, we are moving this guy. Here. One more turn and we're going to be able to get our fleet into here. Hopefully we're going to be able to bombard something. If there is something in Kish from them, perhaps, I don't know. Oh, we have an interesting thing here. What is this? Let me just move here. What is this? I think this was I don't know if this has to do with the merchants. I'm not sure. Still, this thing's it's impossible for us to take that. Okay, just end the turn.
Li Halan.
Now I'm going to go. Oh, we have the engineer, right? No. We have the engineer, and that's the other thing that I want to do. I want to build. Want to go to Kish. And ooh, look at this. What's this? Rebel partitions. We have rebels here. And another thing that I want to show in the lab here, we have this engineer. So I'm going to click the engineer, send it here, because it's still on the area of the shield. And over here, what I'm going to do here is, let's see, orders. I'm going to build city. And I'm going to build the lab and build. Yes. And there you go. Here it is. Now, the actual, if you see, the actual engineer has been consumed, right? It disappeared. So we exchanged that for that. So we attack this, I think. Here we have this officer. Now this is not, now this is different. This is an officer. Stack combat bonuses. It's completely different. So I think it's going to be good to attack this. Oh, we just lost one unit here. Let's see if we can continue here. Oh, we just capture it. That's amazing. Okay, we just capture it. Let's select all. Select all that can be moved, as you can see. So, whatever. So you can see wait, and we move to the other one. Never mind. Let's go to space. And in here we select this one. We go for select all. And click here. We just move in here. Oh, and here we have... Ooh, what's this? Why we have just one? This is the frigate. This is not good. Oh, this is... Ooh, I know, I understand. This is the merchants trying to get me. But now I can either go in here or attack them here. What about this, guys? They have destroyers, which they look very, very powerful. I don't want to mess with them. So what I'm going to do is to send the... we cannot do it because we don't have more points. So let's send the turn here. Oh, we just forgot about here in Rampart. Sorry, here we go. We can move this guy. It's just crossing here. And in the turn.
House Li Halan.
Ooh. This is... What is this? They attack me here. In Icon. Ooh. And now they attack me in their planet. And this was a bad idea for me. So our fleet is now destroyed. Okay, this was Emperor of the Fading Suns. Hopefully you liked this and you enjoyed this. You learned something and you can now go and download the demo or even purchase the game. A fantastic, fantastic wargame. So go ahead and enjoy it as much as we enjoyed it here. This was Victus. See you in the next one.